Hi, Joe Cerrone. Welcome to CAD-118, Advanced AutoCAD, in our weekly Zoom classroom meeting. Alrighty, so we're running our second Zoom classroom meeting, and we'll run that meeting on Tuesdays at 11:45 from this link. We're currently using the AutoCAD 3D Modeling Handbook from Amazon. And that's this textbook right here. And we're going through chapter by chapter, and there is a few of the chapters in the D2L that you can use if you have not received the book yet. And then I've got some other additional exercises. I haven't released these other tutorials, but they're really quite good. And so we'll be looking at some additional exercises as we go through and work with some of the other modeling for the course. Back to the main splash page and some of those exercises. But essentially we're working with our AutoCAD 22 modeling handbook. So we look at our due dates. Module 1 is due October 1st. And if we take a look at that, it's over here under content. Let me go as a student. Okay, right here. Excellent. Alright, and so here it is, CAD-118. We're going through 3D basics, and we're working with our AutoCAD, and we're working on these different assignments. And so this was our Module 1 where we created a cube, and then we created these viewports. And there was a video glitch. I did update the video so that we did add the audio for adding the viewports. And so you can go ahead and add those viewports and scale them, put them on the drawing. And then this one here is just using primitives. And so we're using solid cylinders, solid sphere, torus, and cone. And then we assemble them, or at least use 3D snaps. And so as we go through and work with these drawings, we're just following the textbook. And what's nice about the textbook is he gives you examples and practice exercises that you can download and use. And so as we look at the drawing exercises, you download the practice files and then you modify them. And we've created the labs for you for those with these video lectures. And so you can watch the video lecture on how to create these different parts. Alright. So that's the Module 1, back to the main splash page. And we're happy to go through any questions that you may have on that. Just send us an email or attend the Zoom meeting. And when we're not recording our weekly Zoom classroom, we can work with you virtually online and we can help. Content. Module 2. Creating solids. Our learning objectives are to use solid basic shapes to manipulate those solids, work with press pull, 3D snaps, and work with sub-objects and gizmos. And so this is a great exercise. You know, we make this little flag on this pedestal, but the idea is that you're able to navigate in 3D and that we're able to then work with these different planes in 3D. And this is just Boolean functions where you can add and subtract and be able to union things. And then we have a typical mechanical part, front, top, and left side view with a model. So the instructions are given here, along with the practice exercises and the geometry for that. And then we have a bonus drawing exercise, which would be this architectural project. Here's the videos, and so you can play the videos for how to create those different drawings. So as we walk you through it, go through our different geometry, create the flag. And I really enjoy working in 3D. It takes a little practice, but once you start getting the hang of it, I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. Go through and save the file. Let's pause this video, go back to our main splash page, Module 2. finishing techniques. But they're videos. You're welcome to email us and use D2L to go through how to create those geometries and things. And then when we're looking at our textbook, I'll come back to that. But we do have the chapter in the textbook that goes through that. If we look at the drawings themselves, here we are in AutoCAD. Let me pull it into the screen. And so here's the drawings that we created last week, and then here are the new ones. And so here's our flag drawing, and if I open that and go to model space, sometimes the graphics cards can be a little glitchy, but essentially, when we work on these different shapes and we create them, we're creating different shapes using the 3D workspace or 3D modeling, and then we're creating the different shapes for things like creating a pyramid. And so as we go and create that pyramid, you can create that shape like this, and then as you pull that, you have different options, and I'm using dynamic input so that I can go through, and so you can change the top radius, and so this one's kind of flat on the top, and so we can say top radius, and say maybe like that, and then the height, I'm just eyeballing it right now, and you can create those different shapes. And then with dynamic input being on, it gravitates to those different areas, and so dynamic input, and I'm actually talking about dynamic UCS, dynamic meaning automatic, and so dynamic automatic or dynamic input is this one right here. And if you use dynamic input with object snap, and so when we look at our O snaps, we want to have our O snap, 3D O snap, come on, there we go, on or enabled. And so when 3D O snap is on, it'll grab these faces, and so we can go in and we can create a cylinder on the top of it. And we just gravitate to it, and it grabs it dynamically, and then you can create the cylinder. And I'm just going to create it like that. And then I can create another one on top of that, dynamic input. And then for the flag, it's hard to draw it in that perspective. And so oftentimes what I'll do is I'll draw the flag on the XY plane, which is on the bottom of the part. And so I'll just draw the shape for the flag, and I'm just eyeballing it like that. And then what I do is I use O-snap to be able to rotate and manipulate it with 3D rotate. And so here's my 3D rotate command, and I can place the axis right here, grab the hoop, turn on my polar, and drive that north. Sometimes if I don't get it to track the right way, I'll turn on my ortho. That's F5, right, Al? F8, thanks. And that way it'll snap in 90-degree increments. And so ortho is definitely helpful because you want those things to move in 90-degree increments so they're not crooked. And then we just move it. As you get better with 3D, and I would probably take this from the midpoint of this line right here. Shift, middle right, midpoint, right there. And then I would bring it over to this quadrant and hit the F8 key to turn off that. And then I would go to shift right mouse click, quadrant right here. And you can see you can actually push it in so that it's part of the pole. And so what I would do is I would use a 3D move command. I grab it, hit enter, and then you grab one of the planes and you can just push it just by eye. And it's O-snapping with my O-snap, so I gotta turn it off because I'm just using a 3D move and it's fighting with each other. F3, thanks. Yeah, it's still goofing around on me. So oftentimes when it does that, let me just go through and go to a wireframe. That's worse. Alright, turn off the grid and snap. Let's try it one more time with 3D move. 3D move, grab the object where we're moving it from, and let's just move it to the center. There we go. And then if you wanted to, you can Boolean object those solids, union, and then what it'll do is it'll take out and smooth everything out. Shift middle mouse wheel. And there's a lot of really great things. You know, you could put images on here. You could put like a little flag here with a roster image of like Cubs win or something like that or whatever. So that's a little exercise in how to work with 3D and some of our 3D components that we've been working on. And then if I go back to my main splash page with these, let's see if my graphics card will update. Here's our Lab 1A, Lab 1B, and then here's our mechanical print. And the mechanical print will take you a little bit of time. You have to draw the views properly to create the model for that. And so I put the three-dimensional model out here in space, and then what I'll do is I'll show how to model that in the video, and then we'll create a viewport, and we'll put that on our B-size mechanical title block because we want them on the title blocks. Control R will get me into my other views. If I regen, sometimes the model disappears. It's a graphics card issue. If I go to a visual style 2D wireframe, you can see it. Visual style. There it is. Conceptual. And it's a basic mechanical project. Alrighty. So as we go through and continue working on the drawings, be sure to turn in your Module 1 exercises, and then we'll start on the Module 2. Module 2 exercises are located in the D2L system for creating solids. Read through the Chapter 2 from the textbook. Here's the instructions on how to create the geometry using these different primitives. And then create the mechanical design project, and the architectural is bonus. Practice files are right here. You can download those. Those are taken from the textbook author. You're to take those and manipulate those. And so if we download that and open it, it's just a blank drawing that's used where everything is set that you can create. And that's the way it's intended by the author as you walk through it step by step. And then here's the tutorials for creating those models. Alrighty, back to the main splash page. Remember, you're welcome to come in person. We're there in person, office hours and assistance. If you click on this, Al has got this all laid out. So Monday in person, we're in Skokie, P130, P132. Saturday we're around on Sundays. We're there quite a bit. And then in person is basically going to be Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. We'll add Wednesday. And virtually, most of the students are attending virtually. We've got our Tuesday today, and then Thursday, if you want an individual meeting, you need to email us and we'll put together an individual meeting for you. Back to the main splash page. So that's the assignment for Module 2. Module 2 is to create these drawings shown right here, upload them to the D2L, and we'll grade those and give you feedback. Under quizzes and exams, be sure to take the quiz for Chapter 1 and then Chapter 2. You can have 2 attempts for that, and that'll also count towards your score. And those are the questions from the end of the chapter. Alright, Al, is there anything else that we want to cover in this Zoom classroom meeting before I stop the recording and post it?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll open things up for questions.